minions of capital. What do you want?
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here, but...
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? Is this a fucking farce? I can't.
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now. You thought you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Maybe we could all fit in there. Actually, no. Okay, how about I take him to the precinct and you wait on the island?
This world? What are you talking about? Is this... us?
The wind is cold from the east. Your skin is crawling suddenly. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Maybe it is real, the pheromone.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything. The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets. Breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze. The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. The invertebrate comes back to life, stridulating. Sets of complex eyes follow you, moving in tandem, on either side of the insect's small head.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash.
I got it.
Immortalized. The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning! A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening, wave by wave from its stupor. Some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think. Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you. No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one.
I need 60. Tell me what it's like for you. Fire? Where? I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is not even blood, but lymph, like sap from a one palm. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist, shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations, a swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms, all speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never burn. Are you sure? Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna. The leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk. Yes, thankfully someone ate it. The next time I molded, I grew an antenna again. So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration. Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him. No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real. Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily. I think we should eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Or read. Yum yum.
Wait, so
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident. I am an unknown species of the order FunMustBeAlways's, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain, also by the soldiers of the revolution and officials of the occupation. Even the Samanese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshaw, district of Martinez, March 51. No, you are the miracle.
it was you coming from the west, from the whirling. You were coming.
The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while you are extreme, all-engulfing madness. A volatile simian nervous system, ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all. It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind. You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget? No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation. Simian Butcher. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed. No.
It was you.
The moral of the Pale too. It is you're a violent. We suspect
Instead of air,
everything your eyes touch goes back there. So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
No, there is one more. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. For freedom. She was hell on earth. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone. Apparently, yes, like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Brother, you've managed to collect all the armor pieces. Too bad it's too late for the big showdown. It would have looked very impressive. Still, you found it all. Now your mortal coil is completely protected. Few cops are this futuristic. This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
It's Klasia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish, younger somehow.
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or... Like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be...
By now, the lieutenant has accepted your unusual methods.
I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island. And the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it. But to seek this out would be very unusual behavior for an arthropod. She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
Katarzyna Alazie was supposed to be her real name, where Klasia comes from. Remember? God damn it.
Yes, somehow she managed to lie to us, one more time. In a way, she's still lying to us right now. I don't know, but it's not Katarzyna Alazie, or Klasia, or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective. Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
What is it? What do you want from me? See.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem. Doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you? That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here.
No response.
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it. Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds? The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse. He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse. It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall. You mean pheromonal? Humans are humans. Do you need neurological tampering for the glands to work? I don't know. You should be more careful, detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you? A valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, Detective. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it. He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
I lost.
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there, with the help of a magpie phasmid. This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. No reaction. His breathing is slow, and he appears very old all of a sudden.
Did you take this passport and other papers from a boy on the course?
The spirits.
He hears us. The spirit?
No reply.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here, if we don't take too long.
The old man stares. The greasy old...
The offer still stands. Take it. You don't look so good.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like the blanket feels cold. The entire room, you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening. Sleep. Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry.
Okay, don't say you need to talk right away. Melt the ice first. This way you're already talking. But you don't even want to talk to her. She would only be cold and mean. Let her go. This is the Holy Queen of the territories of Muindi and Insulinda. Think of the historic knowledge we could glean. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win her back. Win her back? How does that fit in here? And what is the Holy Suzerain doing here anyway?
Hey. I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry? Wow, see? A new species.
She is trying to muster it.
I told you. Good things can still happen. Exactly. Now. I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime. Just my scepter, my globe crucigere, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality. Oh, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say. Then, over.
Anyway. I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to... No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us. Our love. Our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Ravachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is. It's not. But... I don't know why I said but. There is no but. That's it, yes. We've talked about it 1,000,000 times. You will get over it. Just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again.
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for them. You never help with anything. Oh yes, she'll come around now. I made her Are you stupid? She's about to say something. Here it comes. Her innocence, Dolores Day, fiddles with the handle of her airport bag. See? She isn't saying anything. I don't understand. It was
She herself...
We were bad for each other, okay? I was bad for you. Can you not see? I'm bad. I had to stop. I couldn't just turn into a bad person. You will get better. It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know? I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can. Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Phew. Yes. But that time is gone now. So very gone. No, Harry. We already tried again, and...
Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice, and then give up. Not you too.
I don't know. Please. Harry, we can't be together because you're insane.
They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head and tries to get hold of herself, brushing her hands in her gown.
You know what I mean. A cop. You've worked there for so long you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. Questions.
Questions? Did someone say questions?
This is another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now. It's not just the lists or trees or whatever. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stayed down for too long. You only communicated with encyclopedic trivia. I was so alone. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. That's not what figurines do, Harry.
She looks at the headless Found Rider between the figurines. Don't do anything? Anything at all? But I thought the historic figure she had. Yes, I thought it would be a form of communication when words have failed. Yes, it was a good idea, but she felt obliged by the headless Found Rider to give you things in return, things she no longer wants to give you. So she refused. That's how it goes. Your figurine rider idea was naive.
Harry, I don't want things. I want to go to the aerodrome. I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything. I would have liked the headless Fallen Rider back then. I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day? Wasn't I Dolores Day just a second ago? Now I'm the X thing? You're confused. I haven't even bought the tickets yet. My friends are waiting for me on the platform. I can't let them wait. It's impolite. I will. The morning? I don't understand. Oh my God, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the morning. Mourning someone who's still alive. I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People my age are not supposed to mourn. Yes, Harry, I am. Things have gotten much better for me. Now that I am the...
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists.
We both said a lot of things. We were very young.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender, long fingers, in her wrists.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
You need to recite it to her, for effect. All of it. No summaries.
Please, Harry, I just don't have time for this. Okay, stop. Yes. Are you happy now? Very well. I wrote it. It was morning. You slept. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left, on Voyager Road. It was autumn. The first autumn. But Harry, please understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I am no longer that person. This has taken her place. It will devour you. Harry, I will eat your mind.
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs, her breasts, her hips.
And my crown of immortality? No. You scared her out of me. With your crying, the awful time we wound up having. And the cheap rental flats you could afford. Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again. I can only think that way about new people.
It wouldn't be a cheap rental this time.
No, it's too late. I found someone for whom I feel the same love I did for you. Only this time, he is more careful. He will not lose me. It will go somewhere. It will grow.
Your heart burns. Through the blackness, you feel the trickle of blood on the mattress below you.
Harry, do you notice how none of this is very funny? Stop laughing like that, please. It's scary. 42. That is the light rail that took me to Quran, to school and work. Every morning. It's the same stop I met you at, Harry. 100,000 million years ago. No human being should still remember the position of atoms such eons ago. It must feel unnaturally sad, a sadness so ancient it is shared even by archaebacteria. The coolest, with your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants, smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first kiss, my first time to have sex. The first and worst time I fell in love. I will always have that with me, it's a fact. But that is all it is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore. Yes, let's talk about that too. Let's bring it up, the zoo. In Le Jardin, the day we went east of the river, to the aquarium first, I was sad about my mother. I don't even know why. The shimmer of the fish tank on my face, the octopuses. It was just a day then, but to think, were we there now, you could touch my hair, kiss me, talk to me about anything, go virtually anywhere in the world. Not like now. Now our interactions are limited to pain and regret.
That's sharp and precise.
No, it's all you. I always loved you for it, but it could not save us. It could not make me stay. In the end, your mind just told you precisely how bad things are. And who would want to stay around for that? Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, then you should let me go to the aerodrome.
With your feet trembling from the steps you took, tepid and fearful, you stand against her body close to you, radiating warmth. With your eyes closed, you move your lips on her mouth. She is not kissing you back. This was not about failure or success. This was always going to be horror. I should not have suggested it, and you should not have listened to me. Her chest rising like a pillow, warm exhalations against the side of your mouth, her tender soul moving through her lungs. Feels like soft fuzz, a bird covered in down feathers, brushing against your broken capillaries. The world's most precious material, reserved for those she lets close enough to feel it. You are stealing a touch. It's not yours to take. The delicate wreath on her forehead pressing into your temple. The silver is cold from the spring evening air. Her hand does not return the grip. Her body is rigid. A current of unease courses through it. Distrust. For you. The curve of her spine. Her shoulders hunched. She keeps herself stiff. Her center guarded from your motions. Unresponsive to your guidance. Nothing, just pillows against you. Unresponsive, but for the taste of apricots. The moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours. Trying hard not to look at you. When she withdrew and you held on to her hand, She tried not to look at your face and see the expression there. Brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you. She breathes out heavily, as if something painful has passed through her, and shakes her head. She shakes her head one more time. The evening wind rustles her hair.
Why did you do that to yourself? You know I don't cheat, Harry. I never cheated on you. No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see. I'm pregnant. Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember? You poor fuck. Poverty-stricken fuck. Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something else.
More questions. Ask more.
Who says that? I have ruled with kindness, grace. Besides, you're only saying this because things didn't work out between us.
Stop making her angry. She won't start loving you again if you call her a war criminal. Seriously.
You were very bad to me too. We've talked about it like 7 million times now. I don't want to do that anymore. I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. I'm gonna go now.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. And I'm really going... Yes. I won't see you, but you will see me. Oh, Harry. This is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? 5 years ago? Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental. I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young, and I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum, like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness, after leaving you the first time, so long ago. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
You're up quick. How was your sleep? I did not want to wake you. Perhaps I should have? Was it a job dream?
The lieutenant nods. I understand. We've all been through similar things. It can be overcome.
Are you sure you're okay? You thrashed around and you bolted up, half covered in blood from your wound. Okay.
The skiff is swaying on the...
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. 2 men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought him. I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
That's right. And you're some kind of murder machine. We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you. Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton. Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on, it's hard to tell.
Vic, calm down.
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Kemar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstein, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led...
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi. Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets. Shit kid. What an interesting moniker.
You, shit kid? That's you.
Despite all that you've done.
No, because of all that you've done.
Yes, I'm Tran Heilestam. I never said I wasn't Tran Heilestam. Mikhail? Mikhail's my son. No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence. What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on. The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building. It was on fire. I knew it. Didn't I tell you, Trant?
The line is from Lou Giatun's Mirova 82, isn't it? About girl-child communism, the titular returning character to ghost the apparition of... Good choice, Harry.
He is correct. It was the Seraillese poet Lou Giatun who, in the 50s of the last set...
Don't encourage him, Trant.
Okay.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? He doesn't remember.
See? He really doesn't remember. It wasn't a sick joke. At least that's good.
Yeah, that's very good. God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we? Oh, you think it was cool you saying that? Aesthetic somehow? You were crying when we got here. Breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to. Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Yes, I'm
still caught up in this crossfire, too.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, pal, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
He is. He's getting better. And I can confirm that he drank a lot of alcohol.
I believe he drank. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their whole life because of drinking.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked into that mural.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the party? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension? Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. No, now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? Oh, well, if it wasn't you, then it's okay. You only let someone steal a 45,000 real police vehicle, drive it into the sea, and then just left it there. For the record, you pressured us into getting it. It'll be cool, Jean. We'll have wheels, rapid response. I was fine being an equestrian cop. I hope you're fine driving a... Don't answer that. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge. The thing that tells people you're a police officer.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand. Patrol Officer Minnow picks it up and gives it back to you, slippery and...
He found it. It's...
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. What is it with all these material objects?
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. So you forgot to drink? I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Detective, please. Don't start talking about your pheromone again. This is serious.
Then you'll be fired. This is a hearing. Toughen up.
I don't believe you. You're drunk. You let a suspect escape, a certain classier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Oh well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, who also is, or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Don't make this harder for yourself.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him, on this case.
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the superstardom. He likes to, from time to time, allude to being a superstar law official. At first I thought it was a joke, but now I'm not so sure. He says disco about 20 times a day. It's odd, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a hustler. He grinds. He makes the real. He's a visionary and a money engineer, which is just... And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I've seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped working on the case. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Fucking hell. Is this somehow connected to the case?
Detective? The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is...
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms: Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian, his Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trond. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it...
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
No, detective. We have a motive.
Take the advice.
And it worked? You got a war going?
Yes, until we stopped it. He saw the mercenary as an ennemi combatant. There's plenty for prosecution to pick from, as far as motive is concerned. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
Perfect folding mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like it will pass in time.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This old...
Still, good work with the
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
How? It seems to be ongoing. I see.
He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information between the company rep and Evrard, until the rep came...
What? Hand cleared the terminal? Sounds like you got played, Harry. Because you were off your tits on Al Ghul. Maybe. Certainly. You're Everclear's peony now, just as I said.
It's not quite like that. The move allowed us to stabilize things here. It was not bad for Martinez, and we don't owe it.
Okay.
Silence. Good. The man doesn't know what to say.
Female?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting...
Incredible. Were there...
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
It's interesting time. Forget about the rest.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates. Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. Must... As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
That makes sense.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the,
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment. Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude,
anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
The man looks westward, impatiently. Jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who are you? You're a gym teacher. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair. The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy.
Of course. Contact Mike.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy. Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege?
It is getting cold out.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue. The worn floorboards. Coudon is just east of Jamroad. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. Oh.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
It's not a mystery. Some chick, Dora something. Dora England. Yeah, you mentioned her name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Something like that. Half
Vasa is where beautifully and impossibly blonde people come from.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it? What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and the Rangalon really tore you a new one. A big one. Incredibly bangable. Extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is going down. It's time to go home.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
No. You're too unstable to work for my boss. You're suicidal, Harry.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would immediately backpedal out. I told you it's not that bad.
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? With the bad guys.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have kept...
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic though, Torsen and McLean.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage. God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
He's anything but a loser. Although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for...
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Riverdale. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant. Who is Lena? Well, good luck finding her once we get back.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. They should know as soon as possible.
She is going to be over the moon.
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious detective. We just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering. Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit in. Am crazy enough. Can take the stress. This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the evening sky, the great district turns on its lights. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls inside. Fire traps as far as the eye can see, from Main Street to Precinct 41 atop the motorway, to Boogie Street forking into the dark horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmair? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's quite unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price points his pen at the doctor. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through, and when he does, he'll side with Revachol. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?